How's everyone doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you for asking. Okay, so Monday, I believe it was, we had a brief Nepal activity. We had formulated some questions on that, correct? Yes?
Correct.
Okay, so everyone has heard about the Nepal earthquake, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so today, I want to reinforce that, and I want to show you a current event that's actually happening in today's world. Rather than history or stuff in the past, I want to go ahead and give you a current event. So today, we're going to learn more about the Nepal earthquake. So today, we're going to have a reading for everyone, 6 questions on the reading. We're going to watch a video that's kind of showing what happened in Nepal, some interviews of people actually helping out, a couple of questions on that. We're going to have a discussion on the earthquake, and then we're going to finish with a PowerPoint set of pictures of what damage and devastation actually was occurring in Nepal. So let's start with PowerPoint for later. I'll get to this in the class. So today, this is the article. This is the article that we're going to be using. Before we begin, I want to go ahead and give some background on earthquakes. So, show of hands, how many students know what an earthquake is? Okay, good. Can I have one student explain how an earthquake happens? Jamie.
When tectonic plates shift.
Tectonic plates shift. Okay, first of all, what are these orange areas on the map? What are they called? Someone raise their hand. Tell me what those orange areas represent. They represent, Ava? Okay, they rest on continents. Continents rest on what? I heard it earlier. Tectonic plates. So, were the continents always spread out like that?
No.
So, they were combined at one point. Does anyone know what that supercontinent was called? Raise your hands. Janet, what was it called? Use with a P. Close. Kayla? Pangea, okay? So in the time of the dinosaurs, there was a supercontinent called Pangea. Now what happens, they're on tectonic plates, and it's on the Earth's crust, so it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So imagine the Earth's crust, it's separated like a puzzle piece. They start separating, okay? So we see here, it's like a giant puzzle. Does Africa look like it might fit right in here perfectly at one point? You kind of see how this area would fit right here in the Atlantic Ocean, and how this bottom section would fit right there above South America. India is the same way. India was once down here, part of Australia, joined up here. You can see these used to be connected at one point. Madagascar used to be connected. Greenland, they all used to be connected in one area. Even Russia and Alaska were together at once. There used to be a continental transatlantic road almost connecting both of them. That's actually how the Native Americans got over to the U.S. There was this almost like kind of like a bridge in the water where they connected. Now they're disconnected, they're not connected anymore due to those continents splitting apart. Okay, so we have continents, we have tectonic plates. What happens when two tectonic plates hit each other? Do they just explode? What happens? Someone raise their hand and tell me what they think happens. Awesome.
They start moving upwards.
Moving upwards. And that creates what, Josh?
Mountains.
Creates mountains. What mountain range were we just talking about yesterday? Show my hands. What mountain range were we just talking about yesterday near Nepal? Ava. Sorry. Himalayan mountains. So the Himalayan mountains formed when tectonic plates, subcontinent of India, the rest of Asia continent, slammed together, and they kept rising. So today, Himalayan mountains are still growing. Tectonic plates are still smashing into each other and growing. Does anyone know what else might happen when two tectonic plates hit each other? Awesome.
They kind of do like that, where one overlaps and one goes under.
Okay, so one of them starts going on top of the other one, like this. The other one bends down and goes into the Earth's crust and turns into magma. So the other one keeps going, it's kind of going like this, like kind of conveyor belt. Should they go up or underneath each other? What happens when they separate? Go opposite direction. What forms in between those two tectonic plates after they're separated? So show my hands. What happens after they separate? John, what do you think happens when two of them separate? Does it just remain rock? What happens? What occurs there? What forms between the two of them? Not sure. Alex, what do you think? Maybe magma? Josh? Canyons. And what fills those canyons? Water. So, U.S. and Africa, South America once combined, started separating, filled with rainwater, created the oceans, created the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is actually currently growing every year. Does anyone know how much it grows by per year? Just about? Jamie? 2 to 3 centimeters, a few inches, maybe a foot at the most in some areas. Because what happens is there's a fault in the middle of the Earth's crust in the Atlantic Ocean, right here. What happens, there's magma underneath that. Magma comes up, forms in the outside, and starts spreading, pushing them further and further away. So it creates more land. That means the Pacific is shrinking. Right here, the Atlantic Ocean is still getting bigger, getting separate, right, further and further apart every single year. Okay, so when we talk about an earthquake, we know it's two tectonic plates coming together. What is in the middle of those two tectonic plates? What is it called? So one of them is in California. It's called the San Andreas Fault. So it's called a fault. It's two tectonic plates. So what happens when one of them, the pressure builds up and one of them ruptures, slides past? What occurs? Earthquakes. That tremor occurs there. All right, so when we're talking about earthquakes, we see in the news, there's a certain way they describe earthquakes. It's a certain category almost. So for this one, does anyone remember what the category was for this earthquake? Or how it was described in the news? So you see, this blank-sized earthquake hit Nepal. Jamie. So you're getting right, it's all a number. So it's a number, so it's a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. So does anyone know what that scale is out of? Josh? Out of 10. And there's a certain term that describes that scale. Does anyone know what it is called? Ava, yeah. It's called the Richter scale. So it's 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest, the strongest, and 1 being the absolute lowest. So 1, you probably wouldn't even feel it. Very, very small. 2011, here in Maryland, we had an earthquake, didn't we? Raise your hand if you felt that earthquake, before you remember it. I remember it. I was working out at a community college. I think it was August before I started my freshman year at Salter University. I was working out. Also, the thing started shaking, the power flickered. I didn't know if we'd been attacked or what was going on. I run outside the gym. The guy on desk, on duty, he got nervous, he got scared. He just ran out of the gym as fast as he can. He hopped over the desk and ran out of the building. I was like, what happens if we were in danger? He was out of there. So we ended up feeling it, and that was about a 5 magnitude earthquake. So right in the middle. So we could feel it, but it didn't cause any real damage. The one in Nepal was a 7.8 magnitude earthquake, and it caused a lot more damage. And we're going to go into why that actually was more devastating in Nepal than if that happened, that same size earthquake happened in the U.S. Okay, so we're also talking about the size of an earthquake. Does anyone know any other natural disasters that are categorized by number? Right, so go ahead. Hurricane. What is another one? Sam?
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes. What is the category